I quit social media, and here's why. So over the past couple of weeks, months, maybe up to even a year, I've started removing social media from my life. But it all started about 4 years ago when I started my brand Natural Testosterone, and I grew a social media following of 250,000 on TikTok. So I was basically living on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube on a daily basis. And it had an awful effect. I was experiencing DPDR, anxiety. I couldn't speak to people outside because I was just living, you can say, in that metaverse. So recently I decided to go full on quit social media, and I'm going to explain to you why I did. So let's get into it. So I quit social media. So Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Initially, I hired a team. So the first step was I removed everything off my phone. And I had people on my Instagram replying to messages. So for myself, to get clients, I would DM people, get people on a call, they would talk to me, so on and so forth. So I would have a team that would take care of the messages, and I would just take care of the sales calls. That worked for a while. But then recently, I'm like, I'm going to delete my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram at Alex Federski, there's nothing there because I'm burning the ships. I'm going full on YouTube, TikTok. The reason why I'm going to go with TikTok is because I can schedule posts online without actually using the platform. And then email marketing. So Instagram, I removed that because you're constantly looking at Instagram stories, you're looking at everyone's lifestyle, so on and so forth. So I removed it. Then when it comes to TikTok is just cancer. You're just sitting on and you're scrolling. You're getting a hit of dopamine, and it's created like a slot machine. You keep scrolling until you find something to get a dopamine hit. And then you keep scrolling and a hit, so on and so forth. So I got rid of TikTok, so I removed that. Then on YouTube, I still used YouTube for a while, but recently I got rid of it. And like, let's say, look, on YouTube, this is my homepage. I have an ad blocker. I don't see any recommended videos. When I'm using YouTube, it's for business only, and I'm straight to the point. So another thing, NoFap I've been doing for about 4 years, but if you don't do it, I highly recommend you get on it. Another thing I'm going to start implementing is no music. So music can be beneficial to improve your dopamine levels, but that being said, you don't want to fry your brain cells by just listening to music constantly, and especially watch out to the music that you listen to. When I just hang out with individuals who are my age, they listen to some dumb drill music, Drake, whatever it is, and they just talk about lust, this, that, and this, and people are just brainwashed. Fasting, caloric deficit. So the reason why a caloric deficit is so beneficial is because you're always on that hunt. You're not satisfied, so you keep pushing yourself. So I found these things very powerful to improve your dopamine levels. Because remember, you're the product of the 5 people you hang with. If you're on TikTok watching these idiots talk about whatever they're talking about conspiracy theories, about what their problems are, so on and so forth, that becomes normal into your life. And then, let's say you have a goal that you want to accomplish, and you listen to these idiots talking about how it's impossible, how you have to be on steroids to accomplish that, or you need to be a scammer to accomplish such business. When you listen to that constantly, it can really throw you off. And especially like for myself, I've accomplished a physique and strength that is beyond naturally accomplished. When I walk into the gym, people always ask me, what are you taking? I don't take anything because I set my goals so far beyond what is capable naturally because I obsessed about it. And I removed the naysayers of people saying that you can't do it. Same thing goes to business. If you're hanging around with people that talk to you about you can only make X a month, That's all you're gonna make. Until, for my instance, I started hanging around with people who are making what I make in a month, they make that in a day. And I'm like, what's going on here? It pushes you to the next level. So if you're watching social media and you're watching these dumbasses talk about these things, you're going to be at their level. Another thing, be careful with influencers online, especially the ones that like seek validation. If you see individuals who are like Sam Ovens, for instance, he doesn't, he used to mention back in the days, he used to show off his Lamborghinis, so on and so forth. But that was a bad move from him. And he said why? Because he attracted the wrong type of people. When you go to his website right now, consulting.com, it looks basic. It looks like a child made it. But he done that for a reason. He done that because he wants to target business individuals. Business individuals know how good that website is. Same with like the things that I talk about. The guys that know, they know that I'm talking facts. I don't want to attract a bunch of idiots that all want to look a certain way to get a validation from people. So be careful of the individuals who pull you into the shiny object syndrome, if that makes sense. Because you see a lot of influencers that, I have this, I have that, I have this, but in reality they don't actually have anything. They're just compensating. They talk a lot and so on and so forth. Show me results. Beware of false prophets. You shall know them by their fruit. Okay, so let's get into why I quit social media and why it's so beneficial. So dopamine has a close relationship with androgenic hormones. Androgens meaning things that are produced from cholesterol. So like testosterone, androgen, anabolic hormones, testosterone, DHT. It works by upregulating the androgen receptors. So there's a study here, if you want to check it out. Suppressing prolactin, more here, and increasing the rate of steroidogenesis by stimulating the GN or H release in the hypothalamus. So another study here. Basically, dopamine boosts your testosterone levels. So dopamine is the happy hormone. When dopamine is low, we need to do repetitive addictive things just to get a big squirt of dopamine in the brain for a couple of minutes. So basically, if your dopamine receptors are messed up, you constantly need to get a hit of dopamine, smoking a lot of nicotine, drinking a lot of coffee, eating a lot of food. When you look, I've seen studies, I read a book, it was either a book or it was a study when they had two individuals. And I talked about this in one of my videos on how to lose fat loss, why dopamine is so beneficial to fat loss. So there's two individuals. There was an obese individual and there was a skinny individual. And the skinny individual ate X and it was satisfied. The obese individual had to eat 5x to be satisfied. Like satisfy their dopamine. So it has to do with their satisfaction. When you have high testosterone levels, for instance, when you get a dopamine spike, it gets prolonged and that's what gets you motivated, driven to keep going. When you have low testosterone and high estrogen, for instance, the dopamine spike gets cut in half, and hence why you need to keep chasing that dopamine. You eat something, you consume nicotine, you need to get another hit just to keep you going. So dopamine is hugely important. But dopamine is important. It's important to improve your entire hormonal profile to get that dopamine benefits into your life. So dopamine is able to, reduce water retention, increase testosterone, improve cognition, mental clarity, ability to concentrate, focus, improved learning, memory, recall, well-being, solution seeking, creativity, lower prolactin, increase the metabolic rate and desire to be active and explore, improved insulin sensitivity and glucose disposal, lower serotonin synthesis, release GABA and promote calmness. So let's go over this. So increase the metabolic rate, so you have more energy drive, you have more energy production, your metabolism is higher. memory recall, lower prolactin. So when you have an orgasm, you get a prolactin spike because the dopamine can fry your receptors. So the prolactin mitigates the effect of dopamine. But prolactin, if it's high constantly, you're going to feel down. So by lowering prolactin, you're going to feel so much better. Lower serotonin. Serotonin, same thing. It's going to make you kind of feel numb all the time. Serotonin causes anxiety as well. Then the symptoms of low dopamine include. So these symptoms, if you experience these symptoms, I highly recommend looking into doing a social media detox. Commit to nofap. Don't listen to music. Fasting, caloric deficit. So lack of motivation, no creativity. Another thing with the creativity, no vivid dreams, no goal setting or ambition, brain fog, negativity, rarely happy, don't enjoy much, anhedonia, apathy, low problem solving ability, antisocial, fearful, nervous, anxious. Basically the symptoms of high serotonin, attention deficit, etc. So the main things that I noticed is no FOMO, so fear of missing out. When you're on social media watching people post their best bits of their life, and you think that that's their life constantly, you feel like you're doing shit in life. Even for me, with what I've accomplished at my age, I still have FOMO because I still think I accomplished nothing because I compared myself to them, whoever it is. But in reality, it's just like social media is a joke. Think about it. They post their best. Let's say pictures. They take the right angle. They take certain supplements to get a pump, so on and so forth. With money, like, you don't know. They probably just got paid. They took out all the money, showed it off, whatever it is. So it's all a big joke. More creativity, more vivid dreams. At the start, I had drug withdrawals. So I had really withdrawal symptoms. Like, I'll be constantly trying to check my phone. Like, for my phone, I have no apps on my phone. At the bottom is just Telegram for close people, camera, Calendly, so for calls, and the Bible. I've noticed I have more time because I'm not wasting it sitting on social media. I'm more patient, better at problem solving. So before, if I'm trying to solve something, I would, if I can't solve it, I'll just go on my phone, chill on it. But right now, and I would just forget about it, escapism. But now I actually have to sit in the fire and solve it. So it's so much more beneficial, more discipline, long suffering. So due to higher testosterone levels. So there was a study done once of two groups of rats. And they were both thrown into a pool of water. So one group of rats gave up, were ready to die because they couldn't escape the water. And the other group kept swimming, didn't give up. So the one that didn't give up, they gave them a lactobacillus strain. So it's a probiotic. And that probiotics increased testosterone levels. And it was shown that higher testosterone levels have been shown to you have better tolerance to stress and no lust. So I used to be very lustful because I'll be listening to certain type of music. Most music is like soft porn these days. Just sitting on Instagram, even if you don't sit on it a lot, it's just gonna happen. Like, it's so lustful these days. Like, the social media, it's gonna come up. Even for like one video, it can really throw you off. So you have to be careful of these things. So when it comes to my coaching, like, I, for example, use School to host my coaching. So I can leave a link down below if you're a coach or something to host it. And here you have no ads. You're in the group of people that focus on the same type of goals. So you're surrounded in the same thing. So before it was on Facebook, which was distracting. And I moved to here and it's so much better. So that's a huge thing I started doing. Overall, I highly recommend you commit to this. I get all my clients to commit to something like this and they feel so much better. So that being said, hopefully you got some value out of this video. Click one of the videos that comes up to watch next. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next vid. Peace.